Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It is so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So you are back for this week's episode of Crafty Catch Up. And yes, I have a few things to show you. I have half an FO, and I'll explain, a whip and a proper FO. Yes, I do. So, what shall we start with? Let's start with the whip, shall we? So, some of you may know my amazing, fantabulous, fun Auntie Lala, my YouTube Auntie Lala from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. If you do not know, you need to go and join her in her mad house and see all of the wonderful things that she is getting up to. She is literally a force to be reckoned with in our crochet streets in a good way, and she will bring you joy and laughter and just awesome, awesome stuff. And quite often she wears quite funny t-shirts, so you know, there's lots to be had over there. Well, anyway, she has been running a couple of CALs recently. Last month in October, she asked us to do the What's in a Name CAL, and she asked us to find a pattern that had our name in it, not the name of the designer, the actual pattern to have our name in it. And if you came by last month, you will know that I did the Samantha's Hope scarf. Well, for November, she is continuing the What's in a Name CAL, but this time she has asked us to pick the names of our parents in the pattern. Again, not the designer name, the pattern name. So I've had, excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my voice. I've had a little bit of a saga trying to find something with my parents' names. I bought 2 patterns, well, actually 3 now. The first one I didn't realise, but it was written in French, so it is of no use to me. So I have it in my files, but unless I can get it translated in the files, it shall stay. The other one I bought, I really, really loved and really wanted to do, but after printing the pattern, because it didn't stipulate what yarn you needed before you bought the pattern, Etsy, I realised I didn't have the right yarn or the right quantity of that yarn to make that sweater. So again, one for the files, one I will do one day, but not for this make along. So I went back to the drawing board. I really wanted to join in, and it came at a time where my dad had a little bit of a health scare, and so I decided to find a pattern with his name in it. And also the inspiration for my channel name came from my dad. My dad has always given me the nickname Manfa, hence Manfa's Makes. And the reason for that nickname, if you are new here, is my actual name is Samantha, but he just calls me Manf or Manfa, the bit in the middle of Samantha. So because I had my dad heavy on my mind, thankfully he is okay now, I went with his name. Now his name is Arthur, okay? So I was looking for patterns with the name Arthur in them. I will link this pattern in the description box. It is a paid for pattern, but there's just something about it. I picked Arthur the Frog. There he is. He looks a little bit of a grumpy fella, and actually that is quite apt as well, because my children call my dad, not granddad or anything like that, they call him Grumps. And this frog looks a bit of a grump. So it just fit and ticked so many boxes. So I went with Arthur the Frog. It is by Critter Stitch, but she is also called Stephanie Buckner. I got this pattern on Ravelry, and I thought it would be a good use of some of my scraps. So I went digging in my scrap bucket. Now this fella here is more of a limey green, and she does recommend that you use cotton so that the shaping of the frog doesn't loosen up, bulge out, etc. But I knew I didn't want to dive into my new cotton stash just yet, so I thought there must be some green scraps in my scrap bucket. So I am actually making him out of acrylic. I found 2 green scraps. Sorry for reaching down off screen. And I managed to use the entirety of one scrap so far, and I'm working on the other. Now, the yarn that I had is Stylecraft Special Double Knit. Bit of a beaten up label there. It's been in my scrap bin. This is 100% premium acrylic, approximately 295 metres or 322 yards. Cool tumble dry, cool iron. You can dry clean using P. And this is in the shade Kelly Green. It was originally a 100-gram ball, but I had a tiny little scrap and I managed to use the entirety of the scrap. Now, the other scrap, there is still quite a bit, and I'm not going to use it all up, but that's okay. It can go back in my scrap bin. Now, this is not showing accurate on camera. It is a little more bright and vibrant. It's looking a bit washed out on the screen, but it is a lovely vibrant green, Kelly Green. And like I said, I won't be using all of this up, but I will be using some of it up. So how far did I get on Arthur? Well, first of all, I used a 3mm hook as recommended by the pattern. And it is a DK weight. Here he is again in his entirety. I just love how he could sit on the edge of a shelf with his legs dangling. And I love how he crosses his arms. If you can see on the back of the pattern here, it shows you that his fingers are intertwined. He can hold a pen for you on your desk. And I just love these two down here with one having his arm around the other's shoulder. So, so cute. So how far did I get with Arthur? He is going to have to come back because he is not yet finished. However, I did get quite a way with him. I'm just giving him a little zhuzh because he's been shoved in a project bag. So here is his body. From this angle, it doesn't look like much. But from the side, you can see that Arthur is taking shape. I wanted to use some bigger, sparklier eyes because they seemed more frog-like to me. And as you can see, they've sucked in a bit and given him a bit of an eyebrow on both sides. You can see the ridge. And putting him up against him. Can you see where we're going with this? There we go. So I did get the head and the body done, and this was a really interesting construction, guys. I haven't made an amigurumi with this exact construction. It was very interesting and very, very genius of the designer. I couldn't see where I was, how it was going to shape and, work to begin with, but I trusted the process. I went with the directions and I turned out with the correct shape for Arthur. And then on top of the head and the body, I have managed to get both of his little legs and feet done. Absolutely love this, honestly. So cute. Here we go. Here's his two little frog legs and feet. Now, I also know that Lala, who is running the cow, is a little bit partial to frogs as well. I believe Emily, her daughter, her favourite animal was a frog. So it felt fitting for that reason as well. But yes, I have got two of his little frog legs done. So all I have left to do is to do his arms and put him together. So already I have nearly completed this month's What's in a Name Cal. So thank you so much, Auntie Lala, for putting this on. I am really enjoying it. Can't wait to see him all put together. And of course, I've got to put on his grumpy little downward smile. But yes, loving it. I can claim this yarn band. I am going to claim it today. Put it in my bag of labels used this year because I tally up how many balls and skeins and donuts and things and cakes that I have used for the year, but I also total up the yardage. The labels only go into that bag to be counted when every single last bit has been used. So no, I didn't use all of the 322 yards, but I did in another project at some of the time, and those were not counted. So they're going to be counted this year. I only collect them when the whole thing is used. So this will be the only yarn band that I can claim for Arthur, but I'm very, very pleased about it. This yarn band will go back with the scrap when I am done with it. So There we go. Nearly done. Nearly done with Arthur. And the lovely thing about these legs as well, they have bendable knees. Poseable. So cute. So I'm excited to see him all finished up, and hopefully that'll be done before next week. So that was the first project that I wanted to talk to you about today. Now the second project, if you have been here, you will know that last week I did not do a crafty catch up. I did a yarn haul instead, and that yarn haul was from the Knitting Network, and that was a bit of a saga as well. Big delays in getting my shipment in and things like that, but you knew that I had bought some sock yarn because I was eager to start working on some crochet socks. So as soon as that yarn came in and I had filmed it, I jumped straight into the world of crochet socks. Yes, I did. I told you that I was going to use the red onion colorway, which is this one. And this is the King Cole Footsie 4-ply. Like I said, in the colour red onion. This is 93% acrylic, 7% PBT, approximately 470 yards or 430 metres. They are 100 grams. Wash up to 30 degrees Celsius. Do not iron, do not bleach. Dry clean using a cool tumble dry. And I didn't know whether I would be able to get a whole pair of socks out of one or whether I would need both balls. Now, I think I would be able to get 2 socks out of 1 ball. However, I knew this already, but I wanted to trust the process and do it anyway. I have quite large feet, quite wide feet, and my calves are huge as well. I wanted to start on the very first pattern, which is the basic sock number 1. As you can see, they use 2 different colours for the toe and the cuff. I just did the whole thing in the red onion colourway. So this is what they're supposed to look like. It was interesting. It was a lovely learning journey. There we go. There's another picture of them there. To know the construction of a sock now is amazing, or a basic sock construction. Sorry, the pattern I got is from this book, Crochet Socks That Rock by Anna-Nika Pirowitz, A Beginner's Guide to Quick and Comfortable Crochet Socks. Now, if you didn't have wide, big feet with quite substantial calf muscles, I think these socks would fit. So I did the size of a UK 7 to 8 because I am a size 8 in the UK, which is quite large for women's feet. As you can see, I reckon I could get the second sock out of this, but I won't be doing that because I cannot get this sock on my foot for love nor money. It's not going to happen in a month of Sundays. I messed the sewing up of the toe, so I'm not happy with the finish of the toe. But I did make a sock. It doesn't look as pretty. It's not been blocked. It's not been washed. It is in its raw state. Really pleased with the ribbing. Really pleased with the body of the sock. So chuffed that I figured out the heel turn and flap and gusset and all the bits and bobs. It took me 3 attempts though to do the heel. I got myself a little confused. So it did take 3 attempts to do that tiny bit of a heel. And the body of the foot was fine. But like I said, I did mess up the toe. It is very messy. Wouldn't be very comfortable on the end of your tippy toes. But it was the first ever sock that I had trialed. But I am not getting this on my foot. I tried. I even tried to get Max, my 13-year-old, who's got much smaller feet than me, to try and get this on his foot. And the ribbing just wouldn't get past to let him put it on, because with his foot in there, he probably only needed about that much. And there's all of that. But we couldn't get past this really super tight ribbon. Now, I am a tight crocheter. This material isn't as yielding and forgiving, ease or stretchy. So I think with my tight tension, and again, I was using the 3mm hook that was recommended, I think I need to go up hook sizes and try again. which I will do at some point. But for a minute, the itch that I had to make socks has been scratched. So this is going to go, this is what I mean by half an FO, because technically you need a pair of socks and I've only got one, but one is completely done. This is going to go back in its project bag and wait until I have the urge to make more again. Like I said, really valuable process, you know, learning journey of the construction of the socks and the techniques that you need to use. But it has scratched the itch enough to know that I can, but I can't actually make one that fits at the moment. So I will revisit that at a later date. But for now, it's not going to be any time left in this year for me to do that. That'll be something to revisit next year, because I have lots of other things that I want to try and that I want to make. So yeah, I've scratched the itch. I've enjoyed the process, but I'm disappointed that I can't get it on my feet. So we will revisit that another time. So no yarn labels for that project, no pair of socks, but enough of a satisfaction of knowing how and, you know, knowing what to do or to try next time. So that was the sock saga. And then there is a final FO. I spent some time over this weekend that I'm filming, which is the weekend prior to you watching, to dig out some of my diamond painting. Now, I haven't actually shown you this little haul. I got these from Amazon, not sponsored or affiliated by anyone for anything. But when I was ordering some things on Amazon for other people for Christmas, I chucked these in the cart because I knew I needed some more Christmas cards. I have got some more on the way from Temu, along with Christmas gifts for people as well. But for the interim, I wanted to bolster my Christmas card stock a little bit more. So this is not yarn or crochet. If that's all you've come for, please feel free to click off. I will see you some other time. But because it's Crafty Catch Up and this is a different craft, I am including it. And also my channel is Manfa's Makes, not Manfa's Crochet. So that's why these crafts sometimes creep in. Now I will be taking a photo of these and I will be sending them to the lovely Sally over at Nanny Moon's Crochet. She is currently running a Friday segment on her channel. She's running it for 12 weeks. I believe she's done 9 weeks so far. I did give her a photo of the other Christmas cards I did a few weeks back. It's not a competition. There's no prizes to be won. It's just a fun segment where she's encouraging you to get some of your Christmas makes whipped up and finished off in plenty of time to be gifted at Christmas. So if you don't know Sally over at Nanny Moon's, I will put a link to her channel. Anyone that I've spoken about, there'll be links to their channels in the description box. Any patterns that I have used and that I can find, I will put in my description box as well. But I will be sharing the photo of these with Sally for her festive Fridays. And she does a gorgeous weekly podcast as well, guys. She's a gorgeous lady with a gorgeous channel with gorgeous content, and you're missing out if you don't know who she is, so go check her out. But also, the lovely Rainey at the Woolly Llama shop, she is running another kind of make-along, craft-along to earn another of her gorgeous embroidered patches. I do believe I've got a patch coming for their 100 Days of Halloween, because I did all of those pumpkins. And this one is the Giving Crafter? Don't quote me on it. Go to Rainey's channel, check her out. Again, her link will be in the description box. But to earn that patch, you have to make something to gift to somebody else. Send her an email. You can either have her share it on her channel or not. It's entirely up to you. But because these Christmas cards are going to be gifted to others and it is a craft, I am going to submit these cards into that November craft along over on Rainey's channel as well, so I can hopefully earn my second patch that she is willing to give out. And I have some ideas floating around in my head of what to do with the iron-on patches. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. But in my head, I have some kind of crocheted wall hanging. and I'm going to attach my patches to that wall hanging as a kind of memento board, a memento display of these gorgeous patches that I have managed to achieve with Rainy over at the Woolly Llama shop. So that's what's percolating, but I haven't started anything, haven't found anything, haven't firmed anything up. But that is going to be the plan for my patches, I think, because then I can have them displayed in my home proudly, and it will be a beautiful, crafty kind of wall decor and a forever memento of this journey that I'm going on. So let's have a look at some of these festive diamond painted cards, shall we? Christmas themed, you know I love Christmas, my favourite time of the year. So we have this sparkly parcel, somebody's Christmas gift. Then we have a whimsical kind of Santa with the butterflies, but super cute, super lovely. They say Merry Christmas on the back, and inside they all have best wishes and lines to write your festive message to whoever you're gifting them to. Then we have a cute little snowman with a gift and a present. So I have stuck all of the diamond dots onto these. And a snowman couple surrounded by poinsettias. Gorgeous. We have a penguin having a festive picnic by the looks of it. Super cute. Then we have Santa again, another whimsical style Santa with candy canes and love hearts and flowers. We all love Santa. Here in the UK, we call him Father Christmas, but I know the majority of you call him Santa, so whichever you prefer, but I love that one. Then we have Santa and his snowman friend on his deliveries. Look at that gorgeous festive house in the background there. Love it. Then we have a snowman family photo. Again, poinsettias, traditional colours of red, green, gold and silver. Love it. We have another gift under the tree. Gorgeous, gorgeous. We then have a very vintage style stocking. Love it. Then we have another snowman family photo. Gorgeous. Saying it's the last weekend of the year, which it normally is. And then finally this gorgeous snowman surrounded by gifts by the tree with the snowflakes coming down. So that's another 12 diamond dot Christmas cards that I have managed to finish, complete and hopefully send out. So there we go. That is all of my crafting since I last did one of these episodes. Now, I'm sorry if that felt a little rushed. I didn't mean to. I tried to calm down and take my time and explain things. But any questions you have, pop them down in the comments. Let me know. Have you started your Christmas crafting? What have you been working on? Are you joining in with Auntie Lala and her What's in a Name Cal? Tell me all the stuff. I want to know. But I am going to have to get going, guys. I'm filming this on Sunday, the 2nd of November, so last Sunday. And we are about to head off to my mum and dad's for our roast dinner and for me to spend time with my brother and my 2 nephews. We do that every fortnight, and it is that Sunday that we are due to do that. So I need to go and get my belly fed and get my little kid fix, because my nephews are only 3 and 8, whereas my kids are, you know, in the pre-teen, teen kind of age range. So I get a little kid fix and they're super cute. Oh, and for any of you that were wondering, yes, I did get Fluffy fixed. He did have his surgery, so I will be giving the you know, surgically fixed up Fluffy back to the 8-year-old nephew who asked Auntie Sam to fix him. So yes, a happy nephew coming up, a lovely roast dinner for us to have. But you are seeing this on Friday, so that would have long since happened. I hope you have had a lovely, lovely week, and I hope the weekend ahead is a gorgeous one for you. I will see you next week for my regularly scheduled content on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Love you loads.